Thomas Frank already on the edge of the penalty area, just asking his defenders to move up, dropping a little bit deep when Manchester City have the ball. Tottenham only with 2 wins, as mentioned already, at home this season, so won't be full of confidence coming here. And the long ball up to Solanke is won easily by Man City, and some neat triangles from them as they play through the ball, but Paulinho steps in and wins it, and then finds Simons, who looks up and spreads it to the right hand side for Kolo Muani to chase. He gets there ahead of 8-Noor. Some neat footwork, clips back inside and keeps possession, plays it in towards Solanke with the outside of his foot, and it's hacked away up to the halfway line by Kuznetsov. There's a foul by Semenyo on the halfway line. In fact, he was offside as well in the build-up. So Tottenham will have possession on the halfway line with the free kick. Romero spreads it out to the right-hand side where Paulinho is, and he sends a long ball forward towards Solanke. Solanke can get the touch away from Núñez and will keep possession on the edge of the Man City area. Finds Udogie in support. Udogie finds Simons and then clips it into the channel for Conor Gallagher to try and keep the ball in play. He does, and finds Udogie, whose pass is loose one but will be picked up by Basuma, and Tottenham will keep possession. Paulinho, 35 yards from goal on the right hand side, passes it back to his Malayan centre midfielder. Man City just retreating back into their defensive shape as Romero has it on the centre circle, finds Draggers in, and Simons, who seems to be floating all over the pitch on the left hand side, picks the ball up. Drags in, then plays it out to Simons on the halfway line. The Dutch midfielder dropping really deep to try and affect the game for Tottenham. Hasn't got any movement, so plays it back to Romero. Man City happy just to let Tottenham have it on halfway. Pretty slow progress from Tottenham as they just look to see where the Man City press will go. 6 minutes gone here, it's 0-0. Semenyo has had a shot on target, well saved by Vicario in the opening few moments. Tottenham have a throw in on the far side, just inside their own half, which is taken short to Conor Gallagher, then recycles possession back to Christian Romero. He finds Draggers in, who takes a touch and comes forward, and then Udogie on halfway. Man City with plenty of defensive bodies to try and force Tottenham back again, and now all the way back in their own half with Romero, and Draggers in by the penalty area. Udogie tries to spin away from Núñez and then clips the ball against him and will win a throw in for his side. Ball goes out of play just in front of Thomas Frank, who's very animated on the edge of his technical area. Udogie with ball in hand will eke forward and try and get up towards halfway. Throws it into Kolo Muani, brings it down on his chest and goes down to ground, but nothing given by the referee, so a throw in for Núñez now on this near side. All the way back to Kuznetsov, who then plays it across to Donnarumma, and Man City will build from the back, and it's Mark Gay who threads the ball towards Nico O'Reilly, and Man City are away now. Semenyo up against Romero, but his pass is sloppy. Tottenham regain possession with Kolo Muani back to goal. Plenty surrounding him, and 8-Noor manages to knock the ball against the PSG loanee. Will win a throw in for Manchester City. It's always looking like a little bit of a change of formation for Man City as well. 8-Noor sort of sliding back into that left back role as Tottenham come forward with Simons breaking towards the area, but a good tackle from Kuznetsov. Nico O'Reilly almost in midfield alongside Rodri, the incredibly versatile young man. Has already had a few caps for England under Thomas Tuchel, and he will be desperate to make that World Cup squad in the summer. Ball forward, and it's lashed away by Romero for Simons to chase, but Núñez just nudges him out of the way and will keep possession for Manchester City. Ball back with Donnarumma. It's been fantastic since making the move to Man City this summer. Wonder whether either side here will look to try and finally strengthen any more in the build-up to deadline day, which is 7 PM tomorrow for British sides. Long ball from Man City cut out by Conor Gallagher, then goes down under a tackle and will win a free kick midway inside the Man City half. Ryan Cherky judged to have fouled Tottenham's January signing. Conor Gallagher taking the number 22 shirt, which became available after Brennan Johnson left to Crystal Palace. So Brennan Johnson, the man who finally broke that trophy duck for Tottenham in the summer with that Europa League win against Manchester United. So Simon's over this free kick and he's a good 40 yards from goal, ends up taking it short to Udogie on the left hand side. It goes back to the Dutch midfielder. It's been an option to put it into the box. He does this time, send it towards the back post. It's headed by Romero, but against Haaland. It's hacked away by Semenyo. And that'll go out of play for throw-in by the halfway line. As we have 10 minutes gone here. Still 0-0, just that one shot on target from Manchester City. Semenyo forcing the save from Vicario in the early stages. Ball thrown back to Romero in the heart of that defence. Finds Basuma, who looks to go forward and try and progress the ball, but he's lost out to Bernardo Silva, and Man City will break in. It's Cherky. Cherky sprinting towards the edge of the area, a couple of step overs, then shoots towards goal and buries it into the bottom corner. And Man City, absolutely clinical on the break, find themselves in front at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Ball lost by Basuma, and Man City made them pay. Cherky with a drive forward, couple of step overs, then from outside the area buried it into the bottom corner, and that's his third Premier League goal of the season. Hasn't scored since December, and he will be absolutely delighted with that. It's going to be a Haaland assist. He just moved it onto him and he struck it from the edge of the area, down low past Vicario. It's great harrying defensive work by Bernardo Silva. And on the 11th minute, France's Ryan Cherky puts Manchester City in front as they look to hunt down Tottenham's North London rivals Arsenal at the top of the table. Ryan Cherky got the winner against Nottingham Forest in that 2-1 match over Christmas. Signed from Lyon in the summer, and he's been incredibly impressive. Such a young man, only 22, and come into the Premier League, and now 3 league goals and 7 assists to his name, having a great season for the club. Basuma has also picked up a yellow card, his first of the season, after fouling Haaland in the build-up, but good advantage played by Rob Jones to allow the shot on goal. Manchester City find themselves in front. Rodri finds Silva in plenty of space in the centre circle, then moves on to O'Reilly, threads it down the line for Semenyo, who's going to attack the box on the far side, delivers it in. It's cut away by Basuma, but only as far as Cherky, then loses the ball to Paulinho and then wins a throw-in for his side. Paulinho, not naturally a centre-back, but asked to play there this afternoon. All of those injuries, most notably Van der Ven at the heart of the Tottenham defence. Tottenham got a bit of a tricky fixture list as well in the Premier League to come. And you've got to be thinking, if currently sat in 15th position, luckily for them, West Ham ended up being beaten yesterday, were 2-0 up, and you've got to think Tottenham might have been looking over their shoulder if West Ham had held on to that victory. Ball with Basuma, sends forward again, he loses it to Rodri, and Rodri threads the ball to Semenyo, knocks it on first time to Silva, flicks it back to Semenyo, and it's hacked away by Paulinho up to the centre circle. You can hear the discontent already from the Tottenham home fans. Semenyo, who's all over the place, picks the ball up and wins a free kick. Rob Jones saying that Christian Romero fouling the Ghanaian winger. So Tottenham had a good win in midweek away at Frankfurt. Back-to-back wins in the Champions League for them in the last 2 matches. After defeat here against West Ham and that draw with Burnley. They've still got Man United away, Newcastle at home, and then Arsenal at home in the coming weeks. So, real difficult times for Tottenham, especially with this injury crisis. Man City comfortable in possession. It's Mark Gahey who sends the ball forward to Semenyo, who's now central. Picks the ball up and went to drive forward, but then decides to knock it to the left-hand side for Silva. Then plays it over to Cherki, the goal scorer on the right. City just moving the ball at ease as Núñez picks the ball up on the right back position. He finds Rodri, finds Nico O'Reilly, who's happy to drive forward. Socks rolled right down to his ankles, the young England international. Wants to see plenty of the ball and he gets it back again. Plays a nice ball into Silva, who flicks it round the corner. Stays down and Haaland carries on the play. Ball now with Silva, who finds Kurtzenoff. Man City want the play stopped. It's Cherki, who's down injured. The goal scorer. Romero goes over to check that he's okay. Lovely flick around the back and Romero called him a little bit late. Cherki, the goal scorer. Only picked up 4 caps in his short time for France, but he's got to be a shoo-in for their World Cup squad in the form that he's in the Premier League. Cherki's back on his feet and making his way off with the medicals team. Pep Guardiola just sat in his seat, legs crossed, and looks pretty happy with how his side have started. They've seen plenty of possession and been able to move it around at free will, really, as the ball's thrown back in and Romero just sends it long to Mark Gahey for Man City to regain possession. Clip forward for Haaland to chase here, and he's up against Radu Dragusin and gets it in on goal and then lobs the keeper, but it finds the roof of the net just over the bar in the end. Pep has his head in his hands. A really simple long ball from Rodri wasn't dealt with by Tottenham. Haaland couldn't quite get the dip, managed to get it over Vicario, but his pace and power was too much for Romero and Dragusin. 20 Premier League goals already. Incredible numbers from the Norwegian striker, who will be obviously going to his first World Cup with his country. Kurtzenoff under pressure from Udogie, just sends the ball back to Donnarumma, gently knocks it round the corner for Gahey and then finds Semenyo. And Rodri can bring the ball forward, and Cherki finds so much space ahead of him over the halfway line and will drive into the space. He's got Núñez outside him if he wants to. Instead he tries to thread it through to Haaland, but it's blocked by Dragusin. Simons does well to win possession back for Tottenham. It's Solanke, everyone inside the Tottenham half at the moment. Archie Gray steps forward and brings it over halfway and drives into the space, threads the ball through to Solanke on the far side. Kurtzenoff's going to try and get across and does. And the young Uzbeki defender does incredibly well there up against Dom Solanke. Kurtzenoff, who's got to 7 starts in all competitions in a row now for Man City. Really trying to make that place his own after the defensive injuries for the away side. Guardiola and Diaz out for a long time, and Stones as well. Semenyo drives towards the corner of the box, tries to play in Nico O'Reilly, but it's smuggled away by Tottenham and cleared long by Vicario. Be picked up by Kuznetsov on halfway. It's his 4th Premier League start in a row. So 7 in all competitions, and appears to be growing in confidence. So he made the move from French side Lens this time last year, towards the back end of the transfer window. Ball over on the left hand side for Man City, but Semenyo chooses to go back to Rodri. And then back to Guéhi. Guéhi was obviously so close to joining what we believe to be Liverpool in the summer, and then made the move from Man City as Kolo Muani goes flying into Rodri. And that'll be a free kick to Man City. The man on loan from PSG helps Rodri back up to his feet. Nothing too malicious in the end, just a little bit late from the French striker. Maybe a free kick inside their own half for Manchester City. 20 minutes gone. Tottenham 0, Manchester City 1. Guéhi plays the ball out to Aït-Nouri on the left hand side, and Aït-Nouri returns it to Guéhi. He's under a bit of pressure from Dom Solanke, and that forces Guéhi back to his keeper. And Spurs will try and get themselves up the pitch with a high press. Kuznetsov under pressure from Simons, finds Núñez, but Tottenham do win the ball back high up a level with the edge of the area, and Simons gets through a couple of players and bursts into the box, and there's a late tackle in there from Kuznetsov on Conor Gallagher, but play still goes on. In fact, Rob Jones then says there's no advantage, and he books Kuznetsov. That's his 2nd yellow card of the season. Just overran the clearance that he made from Xavi Simons, and then Conor Gallagher managed to nip in before Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov sliding tackle, studs on top of the foot of Conor Gallagher. Clear yellow card, but nothing more. So free kick just outside the box, about 22-23 yards from goal, over on this near side. Simons is the only player interested in it for Tottenham. Rob Jones has marked out the 10 yards for the defensive wall. There's going to be 3 in the wall. Donnarumma just trying to line up the wall as the rain starts to come down in North London.